What if I told you that the next 5 years could determine the next 50? It's a heavy question, isn't it? But for 22-year-old Amir, it felt less like a question and more like a crushing weight. He felt completely stuck. Looking around, it seemed like everyone else was moving forward, building careers, getting engaged, while he was just there. He was drowning in comparison, anxiety, and the paralyzing fear of wasting his potential. There's a powerful lesson he was about to learn, one that most people don't realize until it's far too late. Picture this: Amir's small, cluttered apartment. Piles of books he never finished, a guitar collecting dust in the corner. His room was a perfect mirror of the confusion raging inside him. Outside his window, the city buzzed with life. People rushed to work, building their futures, while Amir sat in stillness, scrolling endlessly on his phone. Every post was a new comparison, another person's highlight reel, making his own life feel like a failure. It was a moment that felt like nothing, just another wasted afternoon. But this moment, this feeling of nothingness, was actually the beginning of everything. Inside, Amir was fighting a silent war with himself. He was a master of procrastination, crippled by a deep-seated fear of failure. He had a million ideas, but no direction, no map. He'd start a new online course, try a new workout routine, or pick up that guitar. But the motivation would fizzle out within days, leaving him with an even heavier dose of guilt for not doing enough. You see, your 20s give you silent warnings. Most people just ignore them, thinking they'll fix everything later. His friendships were changing too. Conversations felt distant, as if everyone was speaking a language he no longer understood. His parents' worried calls added to the pressure. Society seemed to be screaming at him, "What are you doing with your life?" But his biggest fear wasn't letting them down. It was becoming someone he never wanted to be, a person full of regrets, looking back at his youth, wondering where it all went wrong. The tension built and built until he finally hit a wall, a moment of complete emotional burnout. Needing to escape the four walls of his apartment, Amir stepped out for a breath of fresh air. He ended up at a quiet park and sat on a bench, the weight of the world on his shoulders. A few moments later, an elderly man sat down beside him. He didn't say much at first, but he noticed the heaviness on Amir's face. After a few gentle questions, the dam broke. Amir poured out everything: the confusion, the fear, the feeling of being completely and utterly lost. The old man didn't offer easy advice or empty platitudes. Instead, he simply said, "Walk with me." He hinted that he once felt exactly the same way in his 20s. What this man showed him next is something most people only realize in their 40s or 50s, when the choices have already been made. He led Amir to a massive construction site. Dozens of workers were busy, not building upwards, but digging downwards, pouring concrete, laying steel, building the foundation. The mentor pointed to the deep, messy pit. "Your 20s are this foundation," he said softly. "No one sees it. It's not glamorous. It's slow, boring, and feels like you're not making any progress. But everything that will ever be built on top of it, the entire skyscraper of your life, depends entirely on this." He explained how discipline, learning new skills, building good habits, they're all like laying that groundwork. It's the unimpressive work that makes the impressive future possible. Without a strong foundation, the whole structure eventually collapses. For Amir, it was like a switch flipped. The chaos in his mind settled, replaced by a sudden, breathtaking clarity. The mentor broke it down further. Your 20s aren't about achieving perfection. They are for planting seeds. Every small, consistent habit compounds over time. The way you manage your health, your money, your relationships, and your skills right now, that is what quietly designs your 30s, 40s, and beyond. Success isn't a sudden explosion. It's built in the quiet moments, day by day, when no one is watching. The lesson was simple. Focus on the foundation. Amir returned home that evening, but he wasn't the same person who left. He walked into his cluttered apartment, and for the first time, he saw it not as a prison, but as a starting point. He began to clean. Each item put away a small victory against the chaos. He took out a notebook and started writing down small, achievable goals. He didn't try to change his entire life overnight. He just started. His apartment was the same, but it felt different because he was different. The change began quietly, but it was growing powerfully within him. Just like the sunrise he watched the next morning, heralding a new day. Remember, your 20s won't last forever, but what you build in them will. So take a moment to look at your own foundation. What seeds are you planting today? Let me know one small step you're going to take in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please like and share it, and subscribe for more content to help guide you through life's most important moments. Thanks for watching.